We would have seen this enzyme as an ingredient in a lot of ready to eat products. Can you guess the name of the enzyme? Yes, it's lysozyme, an enzyme that's universally present in all cells, right from microbial cell to animal cells. Lysozyme is an enzyme that cleaves the glycosidic bond present between N-acetylmuramic acid and N-acetylglucosamine, and therefore is called 1,4-beta N-acetylmuramidase. It's very efficient in inhibiting the growth of gram-positive bacteria. Let's see how. Bacteria can be divided into two types depending on how they respond to gram staining. Those that respond to gram staining appear purple in color and are called gram-positive bacteria, and that those that do not respond to gram staining appear pink in color and are called gram-negative bacteria. Gram-positive bacteria respond to gram staining as their cell wall is made of peptidoglycan, which is rich in N-acetylmuramic acid and N-acetylglucosamine. This means that this bacteria can be impacted easily by lysozymal activity. On the other hand, gram-negative bacteria, they have a cell wall made of lipopolysaccharide, and hence they are not impacted by lysozymal activity. We know that lysozyme is an enzyme. So let's look at some of the factors affecting lysozymal activity. The first one is your pH. So enzyme is always active at a particular pH and temperature range. The pH range where lysozyme exhibits maximum activity or optimum activity is dependent on the origin of lysozyme, whether it's from fig, whether it's from papaya, egg, or fish. And secondly, it also depends on the substrate on which it acts. What kind of food substance you're going to add your lysozyme to, and what is the target organism. Second is ionic strength. The impact of ions depend on what type of salt is added and in what concentration. Apart from that, it also depends on which phase of the cell cycle is the salt added. For instance, if the salt is added when the microbial cells are in stationary phase, it may not have a great impact as the cells would have adapted well to the harsh environmental conditions. However, if the salt is added in the log phase, microbial cells are still adapting and salt addition only adds to adverse environmental conditions existing, thereby inhibiting microbial growth. Third is temperature. Lysozyme is considered one of the most heat-resistant globular protein that we know today. At temperature as high as 80 degrees Celsius, it's only partially denatured. It only unwinds to reveal its tertiary and secondary structure. It does not unwind completely to yield a linear polypeptide chain. Finally, inhibitors like histamine and imidazole can hamper lysozymal activity. Along with that, certain post-translational modification like acetylation of amino acids can impact lysozymal activity. So where is this used practically? Lysozyme can be used to reduce microbial load on several products, including your fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, meat products, fermented food products like tofu. Moreover, it is used in preservation of food that has been subjected to high temperature treatment like your sterilization. And why is that the case? Because of the high temperature resistance of this protein or enzyme. These days, industries, they are interested in combining lysozyme with a milder heat treatment to preserve food because this results in increased nutrient reduction in the end product. Two important pathogens that we know in ready-to-eat food products are Listeria monocytogenes and Clostridium botulinum. Both of these organisms are gram-positive bacteria. So such products that are susceptible to growth of these two organisms contain lysozyme in order to inhibit the growth of these organisms. These days, lysozyme is also used as a component of packaging material to inhibit microbial growth. Thank you for staying with me through the video. In case you have any queries, please feel free to put them in the comment section and I'll get back at the earliest.